Interesting. So the first gene therapy ever approved by the EMA, okay, is for a form of high lipid. Almost the entire patient population was here in Canada because we had this founder effect. We had this cohort of patients in Quebec, and they were all registered because they were being followed by one physician. And so when they were looking for clinical trials, they came to this physician, enrolled all those patients, and they all got it, treated. I remember talking to the company. They just got the therapy approved in Europe. They haven't gotten approved yet in the U.S. I said, so are you going to come to Canada and get approved? And he looked at me and he says, you have 29 patients in Canada. We treated 28 of them. I think we'll just give the therapy away to the 29th one. It'd be a lot cheaper than actually registering the drug. I had to kind of laugh. So we do okay, but you're right. We do not have the conditions that actually invite those clinical trials. We could do a whole lot better. We have not created a favorable environment given the kind of expertise we've got. Easy example. In Canada, in order to do a clinical trial and you have several sites, you have to get an ethics board approval at each and every site. I mean, that's ridiculous, especially when you're talking about a small number of patients. Some of the countries, one ethics approval, one ethics board, you're done. That's what we need to get to. We got to learn how to work together and not everybody kind of fight for their own little piece. We could do a whole lot more if we actually set up much more, good conditions for the science to be done here. Right, we need to set it up so that it is feasible for companies to want to do. I mean, that's what the orphan drug regulatory framework is. We've been fighting with Parliament around why do we actually still need it, and what we're saying is that the drugs are coming in, we're getting them, sometimes a little slower. What we're losing out on are the clinical trials and the research investment because we do not have conditions that are seen as favorable by people that are doing the research and who want to invest in the drug development. We get a researcher who develops a drug, and at the point where it's going to be transferred into clinical trials, the company picks up and they move to Boston. They move to Europe because they've got so much more support there. I mean, that's a tragedy. We lose out. That's what will help us in terms of having a framework that allows us to be able to concentrate and to streamline that process.